Hey guys, hope you're well. So, in this video, I want to discuss a few points that you should keep in your mind if you're manifesting a specific person. Now, manifesting a specific person is fully possible. I have 1200 success stories on my Instagram highlights. I have 12 success story highlights, and a lot of them are SP success stories. And in a previous video, I've also shared and talked about how manifesting a specific person is possible and why that is a natural process that we are doing on a daily basis. And if you will see that most of the people who get into manifestation either get into it because of wealth, or they get into it because they are having some trouble with either a specific person or their love life as a whole. So if you are manifesting a specific person, then I'm going to list a few points in this video that I think would be definitely helpful for you. Now, there are a few things to keep in mind before you watch this video. So in this video, I'm going to be slightly more candid. I'm going to be talking about slightly deeper things. If you have my self-concept course, then you already know a lot of these things that I'm going to be talking about here, because there are things that you need to keep in mind and there are things that you need to understand as you are getting into this. Now, I know that a lot of people get defensive towards these ideas because sometimes you don't want to hear it, and it is actually not something that I'm giving it to you in an offensive way, because I have been through that. I remember when I was actually obsessed with a person and in a situation and in a relationship which I did not want to fully be in, but I was just consistently allowing myself to get involved in that thing because a part of me told me that that's the best that I can get. And at that time, when I was in an insecure place, anyone who was trying to help me, I was thinking of them as the enemy, because in my mind a part of me thought that, you know what, this person does not understand that how much I have invested in order to be with this person right now. They don't understand the extent of my feelings. They don't understand the extent of what I have given up to be in this situation. And a mixture of a lot of things comes down to why we get defensive towards this. But eventually what you have to see is that the truth remains the truth of a situation, right? Just because I am not willing to accept something doesn't mean that the truth of that situation at this moment changes. So the faster I can accept it, the better chance I have to actually change it. And in no way, shape, or form am I telling you to not go after manifesting a specific person. But I think after this video is done, you will be clear on a lot of points on what are the things that you need to keep in mind while you are in this journey, right? I will also probably be making a follow-up video to this because I cannot cover all points here. So let's get into this. First point, always be clear about your why. I will start explaining this with the help of an example. I think I gave this example before. Let's talk about one of my clients. Let's say her name is Jane, right? That's not her name, I'm using an alias, but let's say her name is Jane. Now, Jane came to me a few weeks, I think 2 months back. She has had a very troubled childhood where she has been consistently bullied in her school and in her university life because of her skin and because of her height. Now, because of which, what has happened is she has set the bar of what she considers great very low. So, a self concept from a starting point comes from a very low place. Before being rejected by a person, she has rejected herself. She does not think that she deserves anyone who is good looking, or she does not think that she deserves anyone who is going to offer her great things. And because she hasn't been into a relationship before, there came a guy in her life who gave her some things, right? Who offered her some things. Now, if a person who does not have her self concept, Jane's self concept, then these things wouldn't feel like a big deal. They would just feel normal. But because she has been deprived of these emotions and these feelings for a long time in her life, now the things that this guy is offering feels amazing, because the comparison that she's making it from is the previous experiences that she has had. Now, if her previous experiences have been -10, then even 0 feels like a win, which is what is happening in her situation. A part of her does not even want this person, but she has convinced herself that this is the best that I can get. And the reasons that she gives herself and the justifications that she gives herself for this guy's poor behavior when he's acting hot and cold and not treating her right, and for her to actually choose this person, is because of my insecurities. Because a part of me feels that, I cannot get better, and I think that this is the best that I can get. So if I have to compromise in relationships anyhow, might as well compromise with this person, because at least he's giving me attention. Now, if this person comes to me, my first job would be to tell her to focus on her self concept. Not because I don't want her to actually have love in her life, but because I do. And because I can clearly see that right now her desire in itself is a representation of her insecurities. This does not mean that this has to be the case for everyone. Because I think that a lot of people get worried that if we start working on ourselves, we might not want the person that we want, which is fine and it's a legitimate worry, but you will never find out until you go through it. And if you are someone who will actually move on from that situation, then you not working on yourself is really not helping you. This does not always happen. So if you're sure about that my desire is coming from a good place, then work on yourself. It's only going to increase your chances of getting it. But you really need to be clear about the whys behind your desires. We as humans have this ability that other animals don't have. It's that we have an ability to not act on our impulses and to not give into anything that our mind is telling us to. You're not a slave to your mind, you are the master of it. And the faster you would be able to realize that, the better it would become for you. And I think that when I take this stance, a lot of people tell me that maybe you don't support specific person manifestations. I really do. If I wouldn't, then I wouldn't be posting success stories very regularly where my clients are manifesting specific people in their life. But I really want you to understand that every person has a different situation. And if your situation demands you to right now work on yourself, that's what you should do, to clarify that for yourself. Because this girl, for example, Jane, at the starting, she was very defensive towards this, but she has opened herself to it now and she's working towards that. But let's say she doesn't, and then eventually, let's say she gets this person in her life. A part of her will never be emotionally liberated from her insecurities. She will consistently, to a degree, feel that I am settling, or she will not be happy in that relationship because she will consistently be judging and allowing the other person's poor behavior in her life, which he might do at some point, and then tell herself that it's because maybe of my skin, because of my skin color, or maybe because of my height, that this guy treated me this way. So it's crucial to understand your whys, and this is an activity that I think every person should do. The next thing, patience is needed when you're manifesting a specific person. Now let's understand the example of Jane again. Now let's say Jane starts working on herself, and let's assume the age of Jane is 35. Just an example. If she has had 35 years of patterns, they are not going to go away in 10 days. Neither are they going to go away in 15 days. It's going to take some time. But a general way through which people go into this is that they start it and now they have started to feel better. But there are one of two things that happens. Either as soon as they start to feel better, they start questioning where is it? Or when they start to feel better, they start asking themselves that I am feeling better, why am I not getting what I want? I am feeling better, but why is the resistance still coming up? You have to understand that the pattern was not built in a day. Just like that, the pattern won't go away in a day. It will take time to go away. It will take effort and consistency to go away. You cannot persist based on your convenience. And in these moments, patience towards that is absolutely needed. Because if we won't practice patience, we will consistently keep on getting into same patterns. This does not mean that you have to wait years. It just means that if I'm patient and I'm not worried about the time, it will happen so fast I won't have to actually worry about it. There is a success story, I will post this in my next video, where one of my clients, she was confused, manifesting two guys, like she was in a confused situation. As soon as she let go, she had been in this for years. 7 days it took for the guy to come. I will share this in the next video where I will talk about her success story. But I think it's very important and crucial that you understand that patience for a while is needed and is in fact the fastest way to manifest. The next one, changing yourself is crucial too. Now, a lot of people make these lists, and I was talking to one of my clients. She said that I made a list where I want a person with all these qualities. That's all well and great, but I think that a more important task for you to do is actually make a list on who would I be if I had that relationship, which means I myself am not in a position where I myself am able to be the me that I want to be in relationships. That is the reason it's not here, right? So who would I be if I had that? How would my reactions be? How would my composure be? How would I be handling my work? How would I be handling my time? Who would I be? So also make a checklist for who you would be in a relationship, rather than just making it about the other person. That checklist in itself will clarify a lot of things for you, because then you will actually have an actionable game plan or things that you can improve for yourself, not just because you want to get a relationship, but because you want to maintain it too. Another point, think about what you would do after you get what you want. I think a lot of us are so stuck about the fact that we want something that we forget that after getting it, we also have to maintain it. I was watching this video from Conor McGregor, right? I think we all know who he is. So someone asked him, so he won the first time he won a championship, right? A belt. Someone asked him this question, and this interview gave me chills. Someone asked him, what would you do if you were on the stage the next time and you win it again? He said, this time I will enjoy it. Now, I'm paraphrasing it, so these might not be his exact words, but what he was basically trying to say is that in that time, he just wanted that goal. But once he achieved it, he forgot that the whole point of that goal was to actually enjoy the journey towards getting it. That's what the whole point is. So it's not just about how can you get this thing, it's also about how can you maintain this thing. Because it does not become a success story if you receive a manifestation and then it goes away, right? That's actually a loss, because that is somewhere something is teaching you that your self-concept isn't compatible with receiving and sustaining results. I think these points are very helpful and some things that you should ponder on, and I think that after you ponder on them, these will absolutely be beneficial. So I hope this helps, and I will see you guys in the next video. It's going to be a success story, so stay tuned.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share if you liked the video. The link for my one-on-one coaching, my self-help courses, and my free newsletter are in the description box below.